guys, it's Taryn again today, and today I want to talk to you about how to select your birds for breeding. As you'll notice, today I've actually got the birds in my breeding setup, so it will be a little bit noisier than last time. And you might hear the little green hen in here. You might hear her bashing around in the cage because she's not quite happy about being in there just yet. Okay, so when you are selecting your birds for breeding, of course you want absolutely healthy birds. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through how to do a little health check on your birds before breeding and what to look out for, and then how to choose them. Okay, so when you're choosing hens, it's important that they're at least 8 months old if you're just starting. Some breeders will start from 6 months of age, but I think it's best to be on the safe side. Starting from 8 to 10 months is probably your better bet. Now, for an older hen, I wouldn't go past 4 years. I wouldn't go past 4 years, because after that age, she's starting to get a little bit too old, and things are more likely to happen, and issues are likely to occur. So I would say your age for breeding a hen would be between 8 months and 4 years of age. For the boys, you can start a little bit earlier and go a little bit longer. It's not quite as rigorous on their bodies as it is for the hens. So you can start a boy from probably about 6 months of age. He might not know what he's doing very well, and you can go with him for as long as he's fertile and able to do what he needs to do. Okay, so when you're selecting your birds, the most important thing is of course, making sure that they're healthy. And so I will go through how to do that health check very shortly. Some tips and tricks. A bonded pair will be more likely to breed faster and better. So as you can imagine, just like us, when we're going through who we want to be with, we're more likely to want to have babies with someone that we've been with for a while than, say, someone that we've met on our first date. So if you have a bonded pair that you see in the aviary who are loving on each other and feeding and courting, then if you choose them, they're most likely to breed sooner and more successfully, I have found. But of course, most of the pairs that I have here today are not bonded. I do have a bonded pair, and the male of that pair is the one that I'll show you today because he is my friendliest and chillest fella. Okay, so a really important thing as well is making sure you have a male and a female. While this might seem silly, there are some birds that look really, really difficult to tell apart. One, of course, is the males of the recessive pied, the fallow variety, sometimes double factor dominant pieds, the albino and lutino varieties. They will all have pink ceres, so they can be a little bit hard to tell apart. Some males will also just have slightly lighter blue ceres and kind of look like off-season females. I've had that happen before as well. And some females will also have slightly light blue off-season ceres as well, which can look a little bit masculine too. So you've always got that as well. So you need to make sure. So what I will do is I'll put up some pictures just here shortly so that you can see what the ranges of male cere colours are to female cere colours, and make sure you've got the right sex, because it's really important, but it's a mistake that even some very experienced breeders make. Alright, and then of course what you want to do is you want to check that how related your birds are. So especially when you're getting into line breeding and colour selection breeding and rare genetics, you're going to get birds that are a lot more closely related. So that's where it becomes really important to make sure you've got good records of your genealogy, genetics, and their family tree of your bird. So that's where it's really good to have a software. I use a software called My Birds, and I can show you. I'll see if I can link it as well. So that's linked in the description here. It's a really, really good software. Unfortunately, I don't think it's available on iPhones, but I use it on my Samsung phone. And it's available on all Androids as far as I'm aware. But really, really good product. But there's so many different softwares out there that are great to use. And the reason why, of course, is if you do get too inbred, you're going to get repeatedness of bad mutations, or mutations that are not good, or health issues. And so some of those issues could be something like the feather duster gene. When I last looked into the research, no one really sure exactly what the cause of that was, but it seems to me to act like a recessive gene, like an autosomal recessive gene. At least you carry down online. There was some thoughts that it was a herpes virus at one stage as well, so there's that kind of thought too. So if you have any birds with feather duster in your line, then you have to sort of calculate how the likelihood of your bird carrying that gene, or if it's a virus, is before you pair them with another bird, and what their likelihood is to reduce your risk. And of course, if you've had any birds that have had French molt in the past, where they lose their flight feathers and they never regain them back, some of them, of course, can become carriers. So if they're a carrier and they just lose their flight feathers, you just have to keep that in mind when you're breeding. Some will become permanent carriers, and as far as I'm aware, and can transmit it to the young. So that's something else to keep in mind. So if they have had French molt in the past, then I wouldn't recommend breeding those birds. If you're more likely to get French molt occurring in your ovary or in your baby that you breed. Right, so I'm going to go get my little guy, and we'll go through it all together. Okay, put that on pause. All right, so here's my little guy. So this is a male recessive pied. So there's an example of the funny cere colours that you see. So he's a male. He's a proven male. He's fathered many chicks. He doesn't have a name. He's just called little guy or whatever, but well, I just call him that. He's got a number, of course, so he's got a ring on him here, and that identifies him. Okay, so one of the first things when you're picking up a bird is you can kind of feel their weight. So he is, he's a really good condition score, and you can tell that by feeling the breastbone here. And so that breastbone, it lets you know what weight they are. So if it's really sharp, the steel bone's really sharp, then that means that they're too skinny. And then, of course, you can get something really fat and it's really, really round. So he's got a good level of muscle either side. So this is the pectoral muscle. So the pecs, as people, shorten it to. And he's got a little bit of a fat band here. It can be a little bit hard to tell a bird that doesn't fly much will have very good muscle. So if you have a bird that doesn't fly, it's not going to have very good muscle build up, but it might have a little fat band here. So it can be a little bit hard to body condition score them, but that feeling this keel bone is your best bet. This hold that I have is a hold where I've got the index finger and the ring finger around his neck. It doesn't hurt them. Their neck is mainly feathers. And then, of course, you're not putting any pressure at all on the keel here, because they use that keel to breathe. They don't have a diaphragm, so you can't put any pressure on their breathing. That's one form of holding them. Can you see that? No. Another way you can do it is you can hold their cheekbones here. So you've got the thumb on this cheekbone, this finger on this cheekbone, and then a finger up here to stabilize. That's really good, especially if you're wanting to medicate, or if you're wanting to do like crop needling or medications or something like that. I prefer like this, although the problem with this method is you're more likely to get bitten, but you get used to it. So anyway, okay, back to selecting. So after I've assessed the health, like the body condition score of the bird, we go and have a look at the feathers up above the cere. So he's got nice, clean nostrils. It's actually clean. It's just this little speckles that he's got there. He actually does have some flecking up there. A fault. But yeah, so he's got nice, clean feathers. So you want to make sure that they're nice and lovely, and that his nostrils are nice and clear and open. He's just going to bite me, and that's fine. Does it zoom in on? Hello. Yeah, so he's nice, clean nostrils. Lovely clean feathers. You want your eyes bright and clear. So focus on him. I know, sweetheart. I know, sorry. But nice clear eyes on both sides. He's a recessive pied, so he won't have the white iris ring. Okay, so that you want to check that. And then the next you want to check is their bottom. Make sure there's no poop stuck there. Make sure it's nice and sort of dry. And then once that's all clean, you can also feel their tummy as well. So on a hen, the tummy's just here, just above the, you feel the pelvic bones here and then the bottom of the keel here. And a hen sometimes, or you can get them now, so you can get hernias, you can get fatty lumps here. If you have any of those sorts of things, then you don't want to breed that, okay? It's going to make it really difficult for the hen to lay the eggs. You can run into problems. Okay, and then the next thing is you want to check the joints. So, believe it or not, they have a knee joint, and it's up here. So there's the knee joint here, there's the ankle joint just here, and of course their little feet joints here. So, birds quite commonly get arthritis in this knee joint, also known as the stifle joint. And so if you're finding your bird cannot stretch that out completely, then they've probably got arthritis in there. If that joint stays crooked, like bent or flexed, they've got arthritis. And same with the ankle or the hock. You got to check both legs. No, too hard. He's doing good as well. So yeah, like this, nice and straight. This is how it stands really nicely. You'll feel it in your fingers. It's a little harder to see. But he's got no arthritis, but you don't know what that leg is. We'll try and be a little bit faster sometimes, so I get a bit stressed now. Okay, you can also just check their wings, make sure they don't have any parasites or anything. They'll get quill mites along here. Don't think he's got any. No, he's looking pretty good, but we'll give them all a spray anyway. Make sure I'm checking that their wings work well as well. That's good. Okay. Excellent. So yeah, nice healthy bird. I think that's the main sort of issue. Oh yeah, you want to check their feet as well. Bottom of the feet. Sort of, well, he's not happy. Okay, I know, sweetie, I know. So you want to check the bottom of their feet for any sores or any scaling or anything like that. And of course, you want to check that their fur is clear. He's getting quite stressed, so I'm going to put him back. Now I think we've gone over the most important things, but I'm going to put him back. Okay? Cool. So once you've health checked your birds, then you, of course, want to put them in the breeding cage. So there's lots of different ways that you can go about putting them in the breeding cage. Some people will put the hen in first. Some people will put the male in first. Some people put them both in first and block the breeding cage off, the breeding box off so they can't get in. Some people will put like a little cardboard wall so the hen will chew her way in and then, she's really into it. I don't do that. I just put them both in with the nest box. I haven't really had any problems with that. But each to their own. Everyone has their own success rates with that. So basically I'll have my nest box ready to go. I'll put both the male and the female that I want to breed in there and let them go for it. Once you've chosen them as well, you also want to make sure that you do some parasite control. So I've just done all these guys with some, they've just been dewormed. They'll get a mite treatment as well. I'll do that another day because they're just a bit stressed right now after everyone's been treated. So you want to do a treatment that's going to do your external mites and something that's going to do your internal parasites as well. So most wild birds, they get either mites or they get lice. That tends to be your most external parasites. They can get ticks as well occasionally. And internal parasites is a wide range of different kinds of internal parasites. You can take a fecal sample to your vet and get that assessed to see if there are any parasites in the feces as well, and that gives you kind of a wide idea. I know my birds often get a problem with ascarids, so I've treated them with a treatment that treats that. Now, after you've cleared them, it will take roughly 10 days before you start seeing eggs. If they're bonded, you'll see them sooner, most often. Not always, though. My two non-bonded pairs have both got eggs, so that's cool. Another reason for choosing your birds will probably be genetics. So depending on what you want to breed. So I've got a few different types of pairs in here and different colours that I want to breed. So I focus mainly on Texas clear bodies, full body colour grey wings. We've got a funny kind of grey wing here in New Zealand. It's like a full body colour grey wing, but it's also slightly brown. Some have called it the brown wing, so I've got some of those birds. And I also focus on recessive pieds as well. So those are my main ones. This year I've also wanted to focus a bit more on violets as well. Violets and yellow faces is kind of like my favourite kind of combination, or favourite mutations in the colour variety. So, and then the pattern variety are those ones that I was talking about too. And I've chosen those particular colours because they're just they're not very big in the showbird world. So I have exhibition style budgies. You will see they're definitely nowhere near as big as the exhibition birds in overseas. So in New Zealand, we stopped importing birds in the 90s. You cannot import any birds into New Zealand whatsoever. So we're stuck with what we got. And so that means we can't import any of the birds from overseas. And so we've had to breed up from what we've got. So our birds are a bit smaller than the rest of the world. But, you know, I'd like to have I like to focus on colour, and I like to have kind of exhibition birds that are more colour focused and also can be birds as well. So that's sort of where I'm at. So healthy, colour mutation, exhibition birds, because they're cute and I love their little big fluffy heads. So that's sort of what I focus on. So all my pairs are selected based on recessive, like how the genes work and things like that, and what I'm trying to achieve. So yeah, I can go through and sort of go over each bird and what they are at some stage, and go with that. But yeah, so to rehash, you want to make sure you want to pick birds that are the right age. So for hens, between 8 months and 4 years. For the males, between 6 months, and as long as they're well and healthy and no arthritis or anything like that. So they can go on for a while. They can become infertile eventually though. Okay, you want to make sure you have a male and a female. It's very, very important and can sometimes be very difficult. As you saw from my little guy down here. He was a male, but he can be a little bit difficult to tell. You want to make sure your birds have no history of diseases in the line if you can, or if so, you are very, very cautious in how you're breeding. You make sure to outcross, so get birds with different genetics in so that you're not inbreeding more. And then, of course, run down for, you want to do a health check on your birds as well. Make sure they're all healthy, the right way, no arthritis, just healthy bird, no respiratory conditions or anything like that. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it's really, really helpful and informative for you. Good luck in the breeding shed, and I'll see you at the next time.